One Piece chapter 1124 is out, but before we get into it, if you end up liking the vid, please subscribe. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, the chapter starts with the big ugly Birdman himself, Big News Morgan, yapping about dropping some news about the situation at Egghead and all the fights going on around the world. And this dude is jumping around like he just found a new form of crack, and I can't even really blame him, because imagine being a news reporter trying to find something to report about, and Shanks basically kills the dude who helped defeat Big Mom, and then Blackbeard goes and defeats the man who actually defeated Big Mom, and then Garp bum rushes Blackbeard's island and 1v1s Aokiji. That might be one of the biggest news weeks in all of history, and that's leaving out the whole Egghead situation. Which, by the way, before this chapter, I didn't actually think the Straw Hats were gonna get new wanted posters after Egghead, because obviously most of the stuff that happened there wasn't shown to the world. But Birdman reminded me, oh yeah, the whole world still thinks Vegapunk was killed by Luffy, and there ain't no way the government isn't gonna run with that. So I'm expecting a new bounty of at least 4 billion, which puts Luffy up there with the big dogs. Later in the chapter, we see a Kainu call to Egghead to see how it went down, and Uncle KIZARU picks up the phone. And this dude Akainu got the nerve to say, "Did you guys get the job done yet? Quit slacking off." And bruh, I'm not gonna lie, I laughed at this panel for like 10 seconds straight, cause KIZARU straight up bitched Akainu. Unc for real said, "You ever had to kill your best friend, Akainu? Well, if you would get off your ass, you'd be able to come and see if I was slacking off, bitch." Bro, and Akainu was just sitting there like, damn, my bad, brother. It's like, how else do you respond to that? Like, you gotta understand, this man been doing paperwork as Fleet Admiral. He's sitting there like Naruto after becoming Hokage, and he's mad that KIZARU didn't kill Vegapunk, the smartest man alive, quick enough. And don't forget, Luffy, who's an emperor, showed up, and he was so strong they had to send all 5 Gorosei. Like, you cannot be mad at KIZARU, he did his job. Before I forget, we also see Sentomaru off the coast of Egghead rowing away crying, sitting in a tiny little rowboat, which has got to be one of the funniest yet saddest things I think I've ever seen. Speaking of which, we move on to the Straw Hats who escaped Egghead, and Luffy is all down because he didn't get to save Vegapunk. And after hearing this, Zoro just goes womp womp, who cares, we didn't even know this dude for a whole day, which I get, but it's kind of crazy because this is the same dude who joined Luffy's crew after like 3 days of knowing him max. After this though, Lilith wakes up and cries after hearing her homies are 6 feet under. But then she just stops crying and goes, wait, they are alive. And for a second, I was like, huh? Is this a classic case of no one dies in One Piece? Then she says some corny crap about, they're alive because I'm alive, and the actual brain of Vegapunk is technically still alive on Egghead. But here's the problem with that. Emu just blew up an island with millions of residents on it just to test an ancient weapon. You don't think after searching Egghead they not gonna do the same exact thing there? And you gotta think about that too. The only person that's technically left on Egghead is the woman assaulter that's also a demon. So like, sorry bro, your brain is done for, buddy. Finally, we get to the last panel of the chapter, and here we see the Oda classic of a shaded mystery character, and this character has a bamboo straw hat on their head. And this dude is probably Shiki, as we see in a panel of him with this hat on talking to Crocus before. But to be honest, I'm not trying to rule anything out. This could literally just be Loki, or hear me out, it's gonna sound a little crazy, but what if it's somebody from Wano? Now obviously they just left Wano, but they did take some side trips on the way, and them bamboo straw hats do come from Wano. At least that's where my boy Little Orange Jr. got his. Also, we got the Yamato cover story going on, and recently those have led into the actual chapter. But hey, let me know in the comments who you think this bamboo-hatted fellow is, and please, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Anyway, like the vid, sub, appreciate y'all, deuces.